I'll tell you one thing, that
Hey,
thing is sick.
when my girls start to trip and hate before I skate, I call Sirius XM 98. Yeah, Thursdays the Foxxhole 7 to 9 to talk to ZoWilliams before I lose my mind. Yo, I need advice on my relationship, cause I'm about to start breaking. I can't take it no more. I got to holler at Zo, the relationship pro. Before I pack up and go, I got my foot out the door and then for leaving. But first, let me holler at Zo, the voice of reason. I got one foot out the door. But first, let me holler at Zo, the voice of reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, ZoWilliams is rising. The voice of reason, Foxxhole Radio. Sirius XM 98, we're in the building. We've got another crazy topic. The most controversial, the most riveting, the most entertaining relationship talk show. Radio. It's us, the voice of reason, Foxxhole Radio. I like to call it radio's black hole. Once you tune in, you can't get away. Because of these topics. Week after week, we come with the best topics in the game. And tonight is no exception. Tonight's topic, a lot of people are very interested in this because it keeps happening and we seem to be surprised or shocked whenever it shows its face. The razor's edge of living the double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and I like to say unknown siblings. I know a lot of people who say their granddaddy had somebody, a whole nother family on the other side of town. My father had a bunch of kids that I have yet to meet. I got brothers and sisters out there I don't even know. Unknown siblings. It's crazy, right? The razor's edge of living the double life. We saw Arnold Schwarzenegger live the double life. We saw, Senator John Edwards lived the double life. I mean, and we keep being surprised by it. Why? Let's talk about cheating. Let's talk about family secrets, deception, and lies. We got to get into it tonight. And you know the topic or the number to dial is 855-FOX-9898. I need you to go to my website, www.ZoWilliams.com. That's ZoWilliams.com. You got to follow me on Twitter, at ZoWilliams. Got to follow this conversation, at ZoWilliams. And, by the way, got to do this. You got to come meet me in Chicago on the 25th of this month. It's very important. You got to come to the Little Black Pearl Workshop, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, on the 25th from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm doing a relationship roundtable. A lot of people want to get with me about these relationship roundtables. Trust me, it's going to be an incredible event. I urge you to come out. Once again, I'll be at the Little Black Pearl Workshop, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, on the 25th from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., a relationship roundtable in the beautiful city of Chicago. Before I take this quick break, I want to remind you, we're talking about double lives, the razor's edge of living the double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. Crazy topic. Call me, 855-FOX-9898. I'm taking a quick break, and I'll be back in 2.2. Ladies and gentlemen, ZoWilliams, the voice of reason, ZoWilliams Rising, Foxxhole Radio, the voice of reason, Sirius XM 98. How many of you are just simply not gonna cry? No more. Because of all of the lies that have been told to you. Right? Why is it that it seems like our families, the people that love us the most, do the most terrible things as far as secrets and lies and deception? Crazy, right? That's the topic tonight. The razor's edge of living the double life. Woo, Maria Shriver. My goodness. She was banging for Arnold publicly. He ain't do that. That ain't him. You don't know my husband. And next thing you know, Lil Schwarzenegger from, the Mexican side of things and it's a cold situation because the kid can't be blamed for it, but secrecy, family secrets. How many of you out there have family secrets? You better call me right now, 855-369-9898. We're talking about the razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. I've got questions. I need you guys to call me at 855-369-9898. That's 855-FOX-9898. Are men unfairly labeled as dogs or pigs for cheating when women cheat as well or maybe even better than men do? A lot of women don't want to talk about how good. Women are quick to say, men, you guys are terrible liars. And if you ask them who are the better liars, they say we are. And if you say, well, you're the better liar, you must be using your skill. What are you hiding? Well, you'll never know because I don't slip up like you sloppy do. Women quick to tell you, you're very sloppy. Your lies don't even make any sense. Really? So you're using logic behind your lies and we'll never know. Even Eddie Murphy said, you'll never know if a bone flies out that closet. You'll never know because they're so good at keeping secrets and telling lies. Somebody disagree? Call me right now, 855-369-9898. And lies are so pervasive in our country. Politicians lie, doctors lie, boyfriends lie, girlfriends lie, husbands lie, pastors lie. Think of Bishop Eddie Long. Just settled what is reportedly a $24 million settlement to the 4 cats that, he got his, Timmy Tight short fondle on, I guess each of the kids got like $5 million. And now the church is in trouble because of all of the money that needs to be paid out. So it looks like the church is about to fold. But this is a dude who was banging the drum, on some anti-homosexuality, leading marches through the city, hell no on same-sex marriages, hell no. But then undercover, he got on muscle shirts and I guess some other type of, it's just cold. Everybody is lying. Senator John Edwards. And my question is, and you know me, I always say lying is who we are. Deception is who we are. We can't get away from it as human beings. So why are we so surprised when it happens in our own home? Everything lies. You could see lies and deception in every part of nature, right? Every part. So my question to you tonight is, when dealing with the double life, how does a relationship reconcile from that? Or does the double life simply mean that once the truth comes out, that relationship is now over? Somebody call me at 855-369-9898 and let's talk about it. 855-FOX-9898. Is it possible or even realistic to think that we can live a lie-free, deception-free life? Do you guys remember the World Star Hip Hop video with the little girl who walked in on her parents in the act of sex? And then instead of sending the little girl out, they invited the little girl in and turned on the video camera and asked her question. What did you see mom and dad doing? And, well, I saw you smashing moms. And moms was moaning, and you was moaning, and a lot of people, it was outraged. A lot of people thought that was too much truth. Is there such thing as too much truth? Would a lie have worked better for that child in that moment? 855-369-9898. That's the number to dial. Tonight's topic on The Voice of Reason, the razor's edge of living the double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. More questions. Should political figures be held to a higher moral standard than the rest of us? And if so, right, if political figures should be or should not be held to higher moral standards, does the public then have the right to be so outraged by their behavior? Why do we think at any point, somebody is going to be exactly who they say they are? Don't politicians lie to us all the time? We don't even want to go into the laundry list of all the preachers that have lied, right? Let's look at it this way. 7 celebrities or politicians that have cheated. Let's just do it that way. Tiger Woods, of course. Transgressions is what he called it. right? And the women that kept coming out. Before I even read this list, let me go back. I always say we're dating our ideas. We're not dating real people. So now we hold people to a standard, and the standard is the idea. The standard is inflexible, but human beings are constantly in flux and growing. A standard that fit you 3 years ago becomes like an old garment that doesn't fit anymore as you grow. So what you agreed to, maybe it was a marriage, I agree and I do, and richer or poor, for better or worse, all of that stuff might not fit in 3 years, right? You might have outgrown your belief if you're still growing, or whether you know you're growing or not is irrelevant, but you're growing. So you may wake up one day and be like, this ain't it. This ain't the situation. So in dating your idea, how do you break out of that and actually date the person? Most people are not even really, or I guess we don't have the aptitude to accept each other as we are. We say, hey, do you think like I think? And if you think like I think, I guess we're compatible. But are you really accepting the person for who and what they are? And now, are they pressed to keep up the image? I mean, come on. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tiger Woods, they were keeping up an image. Anybody agree or disagree? Call me, 855-369-9898. That's what we're talking about tonight. I'm going through my questions, and I'm going through, this top 10 list of celebrities. David Letterman. He admitted having sexual relations with women who worked with him. I guess that was outside of his marriage. John Edwards, we already talked about. He was running for president when his sexual cheating was going on. He had a baby. Wow. I mean, that's when you take it to the full out next level, right? Hugh Grant. We already know about Hugh Grant when he was with Elizabeth Hurley and had the little hooker situation, And Bill Clinton. Can you tell me what is the definition of is? Is it remember he did that? I mean, this is crazy. Kobe Bryant. We don't even want to get it. That's my homie right there. I'm sorry. I can't even mention Kobe Bryant. I don't even want to read Kobe Bryant's story. But I'm saying a lot of people out there have been cheating. And we got special guests tonight. We're not even going to go into them all right at this moment. But what I want to do is I want to open up the phone lines and get some of your stories. What has happened to you? What is going on in your life? Right? The cheating, the deception. What family member actually did you dirty and, kept it a secret until the truth finally came out? Like your grandmama say, what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. Let's get some callers in here at 855-369-9898. I got one more question to ask. And I think it's a good question. Does a monogamous relationship go against human nature? And I ain't even gonna go wait. We didn't even touch on the other level of deception. All right, there's emotional cheating, there's financial cheating, there's physical cheating. Shit, there's the internet cheating. Facebook. You have 4,000 friends and maybe 6 of them you might really correspond with all the time. That might not be your boo. Don't let her find out that you getting some instant messages. You may never see this person, but is that cheating? A lot of people seem to think so, right? What about the down low? Uh-oh. I told you, dating an idea. Dude want to go marry a woman, but still be gay, and then not want to talk about it. Again, lies are about illusions and keeping the illusion alive. Bruce Lee said it. Remember that famous Bruce Lee movie when he talked about the enemy? He said, if you destroy the image, you destroy the enemy. A lot of us are keeping up images. Are they real? I don't know. Tonight's topic, one more time, the razor's edge of living the double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown. I fully set up this show. Let's get some callers. Do we have callers? Give me a caller. I've been asking for it. Can I get it? Rico from L.A. Talk to me. Louisiana. Talk to me, Rico.
What's going on, Zo? Love the show.
Thank you, brother.
2 things. My father, he has more than outside children of his marriage and everything, and it was a kind of funky situation because I was his firstborn, but I was not out of his marriage. He got married after my mother, and then he had his own family and so on and so forth. And it was always a kind of a little strange situation with that. But I think the bigger question about the monogamy situation is, why are we buying into a European mindset of monogamy? I don't think that it's a possibility. I think that we were meant because, going back through our history, black men have always had more than one woman. You go back through, if you believe in the Bible, and if you go through the Bible, I mean, even in the Bible, the men in the Bible had more than one wife. I think that's the caveat there. You have to be the responsibility of having a wife versus just having women that you bang it all around town. That's two different things. But the other thing about the deception and the lies is that once you get to a certain maturity level, I think that if you on a mature level, you ain't gotta hide behind something. You just come out and say what it is, and this is how it is. And the only reason you lie or you deceive somebody is because you are scared of a consequence. That's my opinion.
Good stuff. Thank you, man. I appreciate that call. Do we lie to protect ourselves? I think that's what deception's purpose is. I mean, even an octopus will change color, blend in, chameleon. Deception is war, as Lao Tzu said in The Art of War, right? Why are we at war in relationships? Are we trying to gain an advantage? Are we trying to manipulate our partners? And if so, to what end? That's what we're talking about tonight. And really, does anyone ever have a valid reason for why we lie to each other, in relationship or otherwise? Simply put, call me right now and answer my question. Why do we lie? Jay from Maryland, talk to me.
I'm, pretty much fascinated with the Eddie Long issue in Atlanta. And what's very, very troubling to me is the fact that the congregation still backs this guy. And really, that does a very, 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 very big injustice to the black community in the Latonia area. For some reason or another, they still worship this guy as if he's God, and I really don't know why. I don't. Because the truth is in the writing and the fact that he's settled.
Wow.
And they're not doing anything about it.
Wow. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that call. That's a good point. But that's a cultural thing. That's a traditional thing. In the black community, we've always revered our reverends. And we've always wanted our reverends to look good. And we always wanted our reverends to be taken care of because we've always put them on a plateau, to say, they're giving me the word and the understanding of God. So, they deserve the better things in life. And, sometimes they're beyond reproach. And we justify their humanity. Listen to that. A lot of times the black community will justify, not just the black community, let's just be real. People in general justify, their reverend. They justify the humanity of their reverend. Well, none of, all have fallen short of the glory of God, and nobody's perfect, and we always make these excuses, right? Sometimes those reverends can be the most disrespectful, the most condescending, the most inconsiderate, the most bloodthirsty, always got their hand in our pocket type people. Not all, but some. Disagree? Call me, 855-369-9898 or 855-FOX-9898. You're listening to ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. Foxxhole Radio, the razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. Let me just keep it real. I keep it real 100. 100. I was a liar. I lied before, and it was terrible. But it was a cathartic journey for me. It was part of my development as a man. I had to learn that by lying, I was trying to shore up an image of perfection or an image of rightness and correctness. Oh, I lied horribly. Woo, I got 3 children. 2 by one sister and 1 by another. Well, the 1 by another is my youngest child. Well, that guy was still 8 months in the womb before I even told the sister with my 2 oldest about him. And I was struggling with it. Like, damn, it's getting late. It's getting close. Shit. And I got pushed to the point where they finally just got on the phone together. And she was like, dude, I'm 8 months pregnant, to the other girl. And then they got me on the phone. See, I'm going to tell you the truth about me. I'm not perfect by no means. But that situation was so cathartic for me that it showed me the weakness of me. And in turn, opened me up to another level of strength that I wasn't using. And once I came face to face with my flaws, oh man, it was like breaking out of the chrysalis, because apparently I couldn't even see my flaws until it came face to face. And then I recognized, dude, you're not even living up to your potential. You're weak and soft as doctor's cotton. And once I came to that realization, I said, oh, hell no. I got to stand up. I got to stand up now. I've lied many times since then. But every time I do it, I diminish myself. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, somebody want to tell the truth tonight? Call me tonight and tell the truth. That's why we're doing this show. I know we talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these other people that lied. But come on. How many of you have lied? What kind of family secrets do you have? Call me right now, 855-369-9898. We got somebody from Twitter at Cadillac Style for you regarding why we lie. She says, afraid of not accepting or afraid of not being accepted for who we are, entertainment, our way of being, God, we want to control as much / as many as we can. Is lying about control? Somebody call me and let me know if that's the true situation. I believe that it is. We got to take a quick break, but when I come back, I'm going to callers. I got a special guest. But somebody help me out with this. We need to heal. And that's what this show is about. Call me in 2.2. I'll be back. You know, Eddie Murphy did this famous comedy bit, Eddie Murphy Raw, when he said, once you make that woman go, ooh, once you make her orgasm crazily, it wasn't me. But I saw you coming out there. It wasn't me. Has that ever worked? Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898, 855-FOX-9898. Tonight's topic, the razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. Call me right now, 855-369-9898. Or follow me on Twitter because, listen, we've got a great conversation going on Twitter right now. You can tweet me at 2 places, at Foxxhole, which is at symbol FOXXHOLE, or at ZoWilliams. Tweet me now and tweet me your confessions. We'll keep it strict. DM me. We'll keep it strictly anonymous. We won't let anybody know who you are, but get it off your chest. I hear telling the truth is cathartic. Let it out. Tonight's the night to do so. Call me right now and let me know. Question: do famous or political figures cheat simply because they have more opportunities available to them to do so than, say, the average person? Right? And if that's the case, why are poor people still cheating? Somebody call me, 855-369-9898. Call me right now. I need to talk to you. It's very important that we do this. And also, before we get our guest on, because we have a special guest coming, and he's going to drop a jewel that I've been talking about a long time. But before I get to him, I want to do this. I want you guys to tune in tomorrow to catch the Jamie Foxx Friday show, right? It's every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a celebrity-packed show with today's hottest issues, along with Johnny Mac, the homie, Louis Dix, the mentor, and, of course, the beautiful Brandy McGee. Tune in and see what Jamie Foxx is up to this week, only on Sirius XM 98. That's the Foxxhole. Please tune in and check us out. Now, how many times when you're confronted by somebody accusing you of lying, that you become Denzel Washington, the greatest actor ever, right? And you're so convinced in what you're saying to them, even though it's a lie, that even you believe it. How are lies connected to self-deception? And how does that affect the person that you're telling it? Now, we did a show about verbal abuse, and one of the aspects of verbal abuse is that if you constantly say a person is wrong, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they must be crazy, they consider that now as a form of abuse because it is an invalidation of their perspective. It is an invalidation of what they experience. And, women might not have all of the details unless they break into your stuff. And that's another show, breaking into your phone and your computers and all of that. Because typically what puts a woman in that space is the intuition. If a woman's intuition is saying something isn't right, we as men sometimes make them feel crazy by saying, oh, you're out of your mind. Your mind's playing tricks on you. You're crazy. How many times has that happened to you? Ladies, call me right now at 855-369-9898. Let's do it this way. We got callers on deck. Let's get your story. Tell me what kind of family secrets you got. Who we got online? We got Chewy from VA. Talk to me. Chewy. Are they on? Sounds like they're on, but maybe they're not. We got to move, Chewy. Hopefully you could get back in. Reggie! Come on, man. DC in the building. Talk to me.
Zo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
Man, a couple callers ago, someone said that we lie to protect ourselves. We don't really lie to protect ourselves. We lie to protect an image. And, we put a higher image on pastors. We put a higher image on leaders. And we expect more of them. And I think that's what causes them to lie. It's a double standard. But, man, I had a question for you. When you confessed or when you came out to your baby's mothers, did you lose either one of them, man?
No.
How did you ever not lose them? If you had the second mother of your child was 8 months pregnant,
right.
How did you not lose them, man?
Well, this is how it worked. I think, and I always tell people this. This is why I say I was reborn as a man when I had to face my own weaknesses. And I think that rebirth, they gave me more respect for telling the truth finally. It was like, now we're at the precipice of it right here. We're at the crux. Is he going to fold or is he going to stand up and be responsible? And I stood up and I was responsible, and they both respected me more. Now, our relationships changed from that moment. When I say, did I keep them both? No, I wasn't a polygamist. Anybody who thinks polygamous is the answer to cheating, call me right now, 855-369-9898. But it's not that I kept them. I think our relationships evolved to a point where, okay, you lied, but I respect you at this moment for telling the truth. And when they evolved, of course, I didn't continue to see them both. But, with my oldest children, our relationship got stronger in the sense that we understood what it was we were supposed to do, and that was raise these children. And we've been doing a great job ever since. And the other sister, she was more into me. So our relationship is still somewhat problematic. I got issues. Somebody call me. We have a counselor that can call and help me. I'm open. 855-369-9898. Great question, brother. Appreciate it. Poet Shafiq, Delaware. Talk to me. We having a nice little... What's going on, Poet Shafiq?
How you doing, man? What's going on, Zon?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Brother, I just wanted to say this is a great show that you are presenting today, and I wanted to share a little bit of truth with you. Mm-hmm. You said to give the story up, so I'm going to start. With my ex-wife, man, I cheated like a dog. I was untruthful, had multiple women, did what I did, Found out she did what she did, and then we broke it off. Before I got remarried, I told my wife, who's currently my wife now, everything about my past, including the truth about me cheating on my ex-wife. Now, in our relationship now, I happen to mess around in Nevada, and the woman that I was dealing with, well, I didn't even say really dealing with, I met her that night. She decided she wanted to give me fellatio, and, one thing led to another. I stopped it in the middle because, I felt like the relationship that I had started with my wife was based on truth. And I always told her that I would tell her the truth regardless and no matter what. And I ended up telling my wife about a week later when I got home, what went down. And she cried and told me that, she forgave me and was upset with me and didn't realize why I told her. But then she realized later after I told her, I said I would always tell you the truth regardless of what I did. She respects me more, and our relationship now and our marriage is a lot stronger because of it. I realized that when you tell the truth and you begin to tell the truth about everything about yourself, you can face the ugliness of yourself. And I believe that's why people lie, because they really don't want to take the responsibility of facing who they really are and trying to share that with somebody and hoping that they still love them for who they really are.
Man, that's excellent. I appreciate that call. That's excellent. I mean, looking at the truth will make you look at yourself, but the truth also brings with it a power and a kind of integrity. Now, people can't just tell the truth all the time. I'm sorry. It's impossible. We lie all the time, little lies. Deception is who we are. That's how we manipulate each other. Half-truths, partial truths, omissions. How many of you have omitted very, very pertinent information, right? For your advantage in your relationships? 855-369-9898. Is a history of infidelity a red flag to you? Might be, right? After someone cheats in a relationship, should they then tell the whole truth when asked for the details of what happened? I mean, if you're looking, right? If you go looking for something, will you find it even if it's not there? My mind's playing tricks on me. You know what? I want to go do this song. I think this song is apropos for this moment right now. Let's play the Ghetto Boys. Mind's playing tricks on me. I'll be right back. I'm taking more callers. Let's hear this record. It's poignant. Yo, how many of you have felt like your mind is playing tricks on you? How many of you guys get paranoid because you cheating? And then you think your partner is cheating because you haven't been truthful about your cheating, right? People with conscience, I mean, some people don't even understand what I'm talking about because they don't have a conscience. So they just cheat and don't care and it doesn't matter. But a person with a conscience, that conscience might start playing tricks on them. And they start thinking, oh, my girl ain't being truthful. No, it's you not being truthful. You're getting a biofeedback of your lies. And now you start projecting your lies on them. How many of you guys feel that way? 855-369-9898. It's ZoWilliams, the voice of reason, Foxxhole Radio. Man, the razor's edge of living a double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. Nobody's called in about the unknown siblings. I know, one person called in about it. But I know that's a big thing. With 70% of children being born to single moms, we know those dads got other kids somewhere. I'm one of the dads. At least I'm invested in their lives. But Jesus, I mean, unknown siblings popping up, it's crazy. If the cheater confesses to the spouse, are they now more trustworthy or less trustworthy than before? How many of you, when a person tells you the truth, you use the truth and hang it over their head, and they can never be really, you'll say they're forgiven, but they're not really forgiven? How many times does that happen? Somebody call me, 855-369-9898. Is flirting cheating? Crazy. And we don't even want to listen, we got a special guest in the building. I want to bring the special guest in. I mean, and this is a real situation because this is, by definition, deception, the down low. And this brother is about to talk about the down low manifesting in an art form that's got to have more machismo than football, soccer, basketball. It's got more machismo than the WWE. It's got more macho everything than anything masculine. You know, I mean, come on. We're talking about hip hop. We got a special guest. The brother's a speaker, educator, author, and Detroit native. His name is Terrence Dean. He is the author of the Essence magazine bestseller, Hiding in Hip Hop, on the down low in the entertainment industry from music to Hollywood. Now, I watched a video of this brother, and to me, I mean, I'm not trying to diss him or nothing like that, because everybody's opinion and perspective is welcomed here on the Voice of Reason with ZoWilliams, Foxxhole Radio, Sirius 98. And but I was looking at the video, and it came across kind of like the male version of Superhead, you know, where she wrote a memoir kind of all of the people she was with. But the difference is he doesn't say everybody's names. And he even talked about how the people that he knew that are in the hip hop game that play both ways but come across as the most masculine dude in the world, they were reaching out to him saying, hey, man, edit this out or change this. So even if people try to connect the dots, they could still be led somewhere else and not back to me. Without further ado, let me introduce the brother. Come on in. I don't want to read all your accolades because there are many. Brother Terrence Dean, author of Hiding in Hip Hop, on the down low in the entertainment industry from music to Hollywood. Terrence Dean, welcome to the Voice of Reason.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Zoe. I appreciate it.
Man, let's talk about it, man. What is the book about, homeboy? Let's really get into it. I mean, and I've always said hip hop is a hyper, like a hyper, what is it? Heterosexual kind of thing. Hyper, like masculine, hyper masculinity, like man. I mean, we barely see female rappers, and when we do, most of them are reduced to like a prostitute kind of, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, even Nicki Minaj, have your ass out type persona. We hardly ever see empowered, strong women, with the exception of Light, Latifah, and maybe a few others. Talk to me about the down low in hip hop.
Well, like you say, I think I think a lot of people will be very shocked to learn and discover that many of celebrities, rappers, actors, men and women that they perceive to be heterosexual on the screen, and what the image that they portray in the public is that of someone in a heterosexual relationship with someone of the opposite sex. But many of them are hiding their sexuality because of the fear, as you talked about, the secrecy of having to maintain to protect their image, to protect their livelihood. I think because we come from, the religious institutions that has prevented a lot of people from coming forward and sharing who they are and being free and truthful with themselves. Wow. But I wrote Hiding in Hip Hop because it is my memoir about my journey and my story of working in the entertainment industry and having to hide who I was, like you said, being in the hip hop, particularly when I worked at MTV and BET. It is a very hyper masculine environment. So, they laugh, joke, make derogatory comments towards anyone who comes across extremely feminine or someone who may be gay, openly gay. Mm-hmm. So I didn't see a lot of openly gay black men in the entertainment industry working behind the scenes. So I knew then I had to keep the secret. I knew that's what I had to do in order to protect myself. Thus, the deception and manipulation and lies started happening. And then having to, get girlfriends to cover up and all these other things. So I talk about that journey and what it was like, how painful it was, how hurting it was, because as much as I really wanted to be who I really wanted to be, be gay in the entertainment industry, I didn't see a place where I would fit in because of the things I heard and things I saw of them and how they treated men who were gay, openly gay in the industry. So I talk about that journey, and I talk about some of the relationships I've had with some rappers, some actors, and other celebrities.
And when you say, and Terrence, sorry to interrupt, when you say relationships, you mean intimate relationships, yes?
Yes, intimate relationships.
Wow. And not to throw anybody under the bus, but these are big people?
Yeah, they're very big. You hear their music on the radio, you see them on television every day.
Wow. And hip-hop is a tough game. I was an A&R person at Loud Records in '94. Loud RCA, when it was at its peak, when we were dealing with Mobb Deep and the Alcoholics and Exhibit, and Wu-Tang was there at the time. And hip hop, just the culture itself is machismo, it's bravado, it's braggadocio, right? So anything that would be considered soft, is a no-no for hip hop, which is why today we have the term no homo.
Is that, right? Well, yeah, and even the kids now, the new term now is pause.
Pause, yeah. That was gay. Let's pause for a moment to acknowledge that was gay.
Right.
but my point is, how can we? I mean, because like I said, I'm this type of guy. I'm a heterosexual dude, but at the end of the day, I got a homosexual brother. I got a homosexual uncle. I don't know how they became homosexual. I heard your story. You became homosexual after you were raped, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and it happens a lot, with young boys. I think we're hearing the stories. I think when Oprah did her show with Tyler Perry about all of the men who were sexually assaulted when they were younger, and the damage that it does to a lot of us as men. I think a lot of men are afraid to come forward and say anything because it does put you in a precarious situation, because you feel as if, well, why did this man choose me, for one? Why would he prey on me? And then you start to think and question your own sexuality. Like, well, if he did this to me, what does that say about me? And the third thing is, who do you go to express or even mention to say that you've been assaulted by another man? Like, you can't go to your parents. You can't even go to your friends, because, as kids, we laugh and joke about people who are gay, like you said, or anybody who's soft. Mm-hmm. So there's nowhere, no outlet, nowhere to go, nobody to turn to. So we bottle those emotions and those feelings in. And I've met so many men in my journey who have been sexually assaulted, who never shared it with anyone else, because they felt, I can't say anything, because then people are going to start judging me.
So would you say?
They would assume that he's gay because, you let another man touch you.
Right, that's true. So would you say that this type of deception that you speak of, especially in this industry, might be more about self-preservation than it is about manipulation?
It is. It's very self-preservation. I mean, but think about the industry as a whole. The industry as a whole is not going to allow someone to jeopardize the livelihood of the corporation. Wow. So they're not going to allow an artist to be truthful and honest with themselves, especially someone of color, because no one has done it before. And they're not really going to take that risk. I mean, we saw what happened with Ellen when she came out and ABC pulled the plug on her. Disney didn't even want to touch her. So it took her literally almost a decade for her to regain footing and to, get to where she is now at that level, to get her own talk show and, acceptance back in the entertainment industry.
Wow.
But the irony of that is that the people who run Hollywood, the majority of people who are behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, are gay themselves.
Okay, so let me do this really quick. That's cold-blooded. We're going to come back. We got to take another break. Tonight's topic, the razor's edge of living the double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. I'm here with my guest, Terrence Dean. We'll be back in 2.2. This is getting crazy. Call me, 855-369-9898. Peace. That's beautiful music. I'm Only Human. That's the name of the song. Am I human because I lie? Is lying a part of humanity? I think it is. I think deception is. And that's what we're talking about tonight. The razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. We got a great guest on right now. But before I introduce you to him, or reintroduce you to him, I need you to come meet me, ZoWilliams, at the Little Black Pearl Workshop, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, June 25th, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. I'm doing a relationship roundtable. You got issues, relationship issues, intimacy issues, whatever you want to talk about. You want to get some of this lying stuff out. Call me, or no, show up. at 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Relationship Roundtable. I'm doing it. You got to get at me. It's going to be incredible. And also, I don't know if you guys have been here, but it's incredible. Foxxhole Live every Monday night, hosted by the funny man, my friend, fellow Gemini, Mark Curry, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the Conga Room in downtown Los Angeles. Live. You got to come join us for the live broadcast. And you can hear the live broadcast only on Foxxhole, Sirius XM 98. Get at us, man. It's a cold situation what we're doing here. Now, back to my guest. Brother's name is Terrence Dean, author. In 2011, Dean is acknowledged as the first black gay author to be nominated for 2 Lambda Literary Awards for 2 books in 2 different categories. His book, Visible Lives, was nominated for LGBT Anthology, and his book, Straight from Your Gay Best Friend, was nominated for LGBT nonfiction book. So brother is a great author, apparently. I haven't read any of his work, but I have done some research on him. And this book that he wrote is a bestseller, so you might want to go get it. Hiding in Hip Hop, on the down low in the entertainment industry from music to Hollywood. So, brother, you are an authority on this. What are some of the signs? Because what I'm starting to see now, my experience when I went to Atlanta, I used to go to Atlanta all the time, Freaknik, and, I had a girlfriend out there, whatever. But my experience in Atlanta was strange. Because, that was the first time I ever saw, it was a gay thug. Timberlands, jeans, hoodie, Scully, just like a regular dude, but gay. What are the signs of the down low? Help me out. Help me understand. Is there a way to detect, or are they virtually non-detectable? Talk to me, Terrence.
A lot of them are very, non-detectable. Like you said, I think that's the misconception, too, that people have. I always ask, when I do book signings or at a gathering, I see, men who appear to be heterosexual in the room. I ask them the question, when you think of gay people or gay men, what do you think of? And automatically they say, well, RuPaul, or they think men who dress nice and coordinate. So the ideology of what heterosexual people think of gay people is that they think all gay men want to dress and act like women, so that's what they naturally look for. So when they see someone who looks like them, who acts like them, who can speak like them, who talk sports and watch sports with them, it throws them off because they're like, well, you don't act and look like the typical gay dude. So you don't know what to look for. As someone such as myself would probably be more keen to notice certain things about him. And just as I tell women, 'cause I get a lot of questions, women who are involved with men, and they tell me, well, he's asked me to, use my toy on him. And they're talking about their dildo.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't think a man will wake up, and I'll tell these women, I say, I don't think a heterosexual man will wake up one day and say, you know what, baby, why don't you go get your dildo and let's try this, experiment with that. I'm learning and hearing from a lot of women that a lot of men are into anal play. I think that's a sign. I think I've been hearing more so recently as well that men have been confessing to their girlfriends that they like transsexual porn, which are men who can appear to look as soft and as feminine as a woman, where they dress up and look like a woman, but they still have the physical equipment of a man. So I think,
wow.
And that's what we hear the case of DJ Mr. C, who was caught with a transsexual.
And we also hear about Chingy.
Mace, Chingy, Mace, Eddie Murphy in that situation when he was caught with a transsexual. It's a fantasy, and I think a lot of men are very, and they're intrigued with that. I call it a fetish, that they like that type of, it can appear to be as soft and pretty as a woman. So in their head, they can justify it like, well, he looks like a woman, but I'm still getting the physical satisfaction of being with a man.
Right. Man,
but
this is crazy. Are y'all listening to this brother right now? Terrence Dean, author of Hiding in Hip Hop. Okay? Come on now. He's giving us the tools we need. I need you to call me right now at 855-369-9898. Terrence, check this out. I want to take some callers, but I want you to finish your thought. Right after you finish your thought, I'm going to callers, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Another thing, too, I always tell women, you have to be very mindful of the men that your mate is associating with. If you notice that he's bringing a different dude around every 3 to 6 months, and he's talking about, this is my boy, this is my cousin, we met at the gym, or and this is a guy that you've never heard him talk of before, speak of before, and all of a sudden he's like his distant cousin that came in from out of town. Mm-hmm. Like, those are signs I'm not telling women, like, you really got to be careful of those things, because that's a dude he may be creeping with. And he's introducing you because he's making you feel comfortable with him. Like, oh, this is just my boy. We're about to go play some basketball. They're going to play basketball, all right. They'll be bouncing each other's balls.
Oh!
But you got to be very mindful. But also, and I tell women to check the Internet. Men are very sloppy, or the sex sites they go to, the chat rooms the gay chats. That check the cookies. I think a lot of women don't know how to check the cookies, because even though a man can delete the site that he went to, but you can check the history. Like, where has he been in the past month, in the past 2 weeks? What sites has he gone to? If he has 2 phones and you only have one number, like, how come you don't have the number to the second one? And if his screen name is
wait a minute, she's not even
man
supposed
on
to
the
know
down low
about
for you.
But she's not even supposed to know about the second phone, so she shouldn't.
Exactly.
Wow, this is crazy.
Even in my phone, I would change the name. I would put a female's name, or I just put, cousin, or I would create code names for people. So it takes a lot of detective work, but women have to ask the question. And one of the questions I always tell women that they have to ask is, you can't accuse him. You can't say to him, because I learned this from a down low man. I remember he told me this. He said, my girl keeps thinking I'm cheating on her. He said, you know what? She got the cheating part right, but she keeps thinking I'm cheating with another woman. So he said, she's not asking me the right question. And I was like, wow. And I was like, that was a perfect lesson right there. If you don't ask a man the right question, you won't get the right answer.
Wow. That's good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, we are talking about the razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. We're talking about the DL, down low. We talking about down low in hip-hop. We talking about down low in the entertainment industry, music or movies, television, whatever. We're talking about cheating husbands, cheating wives, how to know. We're revealing this information. You need to follow me at ZoWilliams. At ZoWilliams. Get at me. Let's go. James Mizzou. James, you from Mizzou. Talk to me.
I just wanted to say we have to remember that, the flesh is weak. And one of the things is we become susceptible to many of the various different opportunities and things that are out there. And we fail to listen to that voice of reason. And what can happen is wind up, once exposed or once it's brought out, it can be a very humbling experience. And that's the difficult part. But one of the callers mentioned about the bishop, how can the church still support it? And we have to pick each other up. We all make mistakes. We're all human, and we all fall short. And it's our job is to help pick someone up who has fallen short, who can't acknowledge the mistakes or the things that they once spoken out about and that they're participating. And it comes with growth and it comes with time, but we have to remember that we all fall short. And because of that, we have to be forgiving, because that's what we attend church for. It's some upliftment and someone to be there to support us. So I think that's the rationale that the church has to look at, because you can't make a mistake and then never be forgiven for it. You can make a mistake and work towards changing it, but with that change comes acknowledgement of that. And I think that's the difficulty that many of us have sometimes. We don't want to acknowledge something that has been brought out against us. But if you open that Pandora's box and you decide to walk through it, you got to understand that there are going to be consequences or possibly repercussions that may come from that. And we're not ready to deal with that aspect because we see the fun of what we're doing at the time, but not the endless amount of press or issues that you're going to have to deal with once it has been exposed or brought out.
Wow. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that valuable information. But how many times does a Pastor Eddie Long have to come into our lives? I mean, it happened with Pastor Ted Haggard, right? It's a lot of people that, banging the drum. I'm against it. I'm against it. The people that are banging the loudest usually are the ones that are hypocritical, right? The one this is the cause I'm going to crusade for. Those are the guys that are usually the biggest hypocrites. Let people live. I think the reason why people lie is because there's so much judgment and criticism with people being who they are. Listen, not everybody is skinny. There are going to be some fat people. That's just what it is. Not everybody is straight. There are going to be some gay people. Then there's going to be some people right in the middle. There's some, I like to call it fussle, fat and muscle. Not quite fat, not quite buff. There's the fussle people right in the middle, right? Then you got the bisexuals. Not everybody is good. And it's hypocritical. And let me tell you what the birth of hypocrisy is. Extremism, right? Life in and of itself is ambivalent. It's good and bad. It's sweet and sour. It's right and wrong. You've heard of that statement. There's your POV, and especially in an argument, there's your POV and the other person's POV, and in the middle, there's the truth. Life is ambivalent. It is balance, right? But so many people are extremists. It's either this or that. He's either gay or no. I'm going to say this. I don't care what your sexual preference is. Just long as you don't turn it into a crusade and try to convert me. That's what the crusade is. I want to change your opinion about you. Somebody call me, 855-369-9898. I got to go to a record right now. Have you ever dated somebody and you thought, man, this is it, and then you see somebody else and you go, dang, I want to get out of this and start something new? I don't know. It happens. You wind up starting something new, but you don't end what you're currently in. How many times does that happen? Go to this record right now because it speaks to what I'm saying. Usher. Ladies and gentlemen, ZoWilliams, the voice of reason, has returned to the Foxxhole. We're having a great time. The topic is crazy tonight. The razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. And that record speaks. Have you ever just been with somebody who's like, dang, this is my soulmate. And next thing you know, you meet your real soulmate. And a lot of us, because how many times have women heard this? I lied to you to protect you. How many times have you heard that? I was trying to protect you, and that's why I lied. But a lot of times the person who says that, because I was that dude at one point, was really trying to protect myself. Somebody call me right now, 855-369-9898, if you can relate to what I'm talking about. The razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. It's a cold situation. My question to you all out there again is it possible to lie-proof your committed relationship or marriage? I think there's always going to be lies to some degree. Follow me at Twitter and talk to me about it. At ZoWilliams or at Foxxhole. That's Foxxhole with two X's. FOXXHOLE. Get at me. Also, I'm going to need you to come see me, ZoWilliams, doing my first relationship roundtable of the year at the Little Black Pearl Workshop, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to be killing it. My relationship roundtables are always off the chain. I'm telling you. We have a lot of fun. We provide a lot of information. It's entertaining. It's deep. It's riveting. There's jewels being dropped. Again, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, June 25th, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's going to be off the chain. And I need you guys to check out my homegirl, my station mate, the Cheryl Underwood Show, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Glenda the Good Witch, Kyle, Stacy, and White Jim Kelly, James. Politics, comedy, sexism, and the serious. It's the Cheryl Underwood Show. It's a lot of fun, only on the Foxxhole, Sirius XM98. We're back. I got my my author here, Brother Terrence Dean. He wrote a great book, Hiding in Hip Hop, on the down low in the entertainment industry from music to Hollywood. Brother, I want to appreciate you for coming on and sharing that in-depth and meaningful information. We really appreciate it. Give me really quickly in about 20 seconds, website where people can find you, email address, Twitter page, whatever it is. Let them know where they can find you before I wrap you, brother.
Yes, my Twitter, I'm at Terrence Dean. My name is TerranceDean. I'm on Facebook, same Terrence Dean. My website is www.MrTerrenceDean.com, and I also have a blog, which is terrencedean.blogspot.com. And I have a new book coming out called Mogul. It's a fictionalized version, and it's about an entertainment music producer who struggles with coming out as he's confronted with some very exploitive photos that land in the hands of his girlfriend and an entertainment news outlet.
Wow. Man, thank you. You're a great guest. Appreciate you. And anytime you want to come back through. Holler at us. Email me. Do whatever. ZO@SiriusXM.com is my email address. Get at me, man. And when you want to talk about this, your new book, we could do that too. But now we got to move. I got callers on deck. I got all types of people really talking about this. Twitter is on fire right now, at ZoWilliams. And go to my website, too, www.ZoWilliams.com. Let's just do this really quickly. Signs of emotional cheating, right? Sudden interest in improving his or her appearance. You know how it is. We get fat when we're comfortable in our relationships. We get relaxed. We pooting. We doing all scratching. We doing all kind of stuff. But all of a sudden, somebody want to get cute. Is that a sign of emotional cheating? Changing the passwords. Always lying. Very inconsistent stories, right? Always unhappy. Always angry. Argumentative. Ready to start something. Mood swings. Mood changes, you know. 1 minute they happy, next minute they upset about any little thing, right? Sudden change in habits, right? What is that? Is that emotional cheating? Is that real cheating? He or she appears to be confused all the time. Avoidance. Don't want to answer no questions. Don't want to reveal nothing, right? Sudden change in work schedule. The car seat. Why is the car seat pushed all the way back? You know my position. Why is my position in the passenger seat changed? What's this about? 855-369-9898. Talk to me. Have you gone through this? Is that what's going on? Somebody better tell me something tonight. This is your time to chime. It's your time to talk about it, right? Changing the money. The spending habits are different. Huh? Anybody want to talk to me about that? What about signs that the woman is cheating? Wait, somebody on Twitter says, at ZoWilliams, of course, somebody hit me. I think this is Rob Huntsville, at Rob Huntsville. He says, signs of possible cheating. 1, leaves for work the same time, always come home at different hours. 2, requires you to call his mobile phone. No home phone, just a mobile phone, huh? Somebody call me. Talk to me about what you've gone through. Signs you have a cheating wife. She's no longer as needy as she used to be. Go on, cook your own food. What about Dexter St. Jock might be in play? Again, another famous comedy bit from Eddie Murphy, Raw. I'm going to the New Orleans, what's this fest with some friends and some cousins. Huh? Really? By yourself? No, with friends and cousins. You probably wouldn't like it because, you know. Huh? Wow, okay. She no longer gets angry. You know what? I ain't even tripping off you, homie. It's all good. Really? Since when did you get all calm? Dexter St. Jock. She busting off somewhere else, huh? What about that? She's being secretive. Once she was an open book. Now you just get a paragraph. What's that about? 855-369-9898. She places the focus on you. Why are you questioning me? What are you doing? You know, I'm no longer asking you about what you're doing. Why are you asking me about what I'm doing? 855. Fox 9898. Ooh, this is cold. Women cheat too, and women be playing that victim role. I'm only cheating cuz. That's, before I go to break, let me open that up a little bit. The justification cheat. I did it because you did it. Women like to throw that card, but the truth of the matter is you did it because you had the capacity to do it and you wanted to do it. What happens when we say you do whatever you want to do? If you didn't want to do it, why would you do something that you said I'm low and a dog and a pig and slime for doing? Why would you then use that as a justification for you becoming a pig? 855-369-9898. ZoWilliams, I got to take a break, but I'll be back. Trust me, this thing is crazy right now. I'll be back in 2.2. I'm taking callers. Ladies and gentlemen, ZoWilliams. Zomithi is rising. The razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. This is Sirius XM 98, the Foxxhole. That's where we are right now. Twitter is on fire. I keep trying to tell y'all, join my Twitter page, at ZoWilliams. At ZoWilliams, man. It's going down right now. And we've got a lot of stuff here. Woo! I'm going to the callers. True or false, regarding infidelity, you should not spread the word based on your suspicions. A lot of times, you'll jump the gun on your suspicions and just spread the word. He cheating, or she cheating, and you might be wrong. True or false, you should not spread the word based on suspicion. True or false, regarding infidelity, the sanity of mind is in the proof. Do you need to prove to know that somebody is cheating? Call me right now, 855-369-9898. I'm calling to you guys. At Trey Fletcher on Twitter says, the real question is, can women really handle the truth? You're an asshole when they find the real truth that men need new women. Trey, I want y'all to follow this dude. At Trey Fletcher. And he also says it stops being an affair when you start treating your wife like your wife is the side chick. And then you start treating the side chick like she's your wife. That's when it stops being an affair. Who agrees or disagrees with that? 855-369-9898. We got a lot of heavyweights out there, athletes with illegitimate children. Calvin Murphy, 14 illegitimate kids by 9 different women. Travis Henry, 9 kids by 9 different women. And he had all of these kids by the age of 28. Ex-San Antonio Spur, Willie Anderson, 9 illegitimate kids. Ooh, Jesus, he got to play basketball until he's 72 years old in order to pay that child support down. Evander Holyfield, 9 illegitimate kids. No wonder he boxed until he was 56. He got more kids than he had brain cells left. Jason Caffey, 8 kids by 7 different women. Antoine Cromartie, football player, right? 8 kids. Antonio Cromartie, 8 kids. Jesus. Sean Kemp, 7 illegitimate kids by 6 women last time we count. Supposedly up to 9 and 9 children. Oh, no, supposedly up to 11 kids by 9 different women now. He played 56 until he gained 350 pounds. Derek Thomas, legendary linebacker, Kansas City Chiefs, 7 illegitimate children by 5 women, and he died at 33. Whew. Unconfirmed, Dominique Wilkins. Now, they said he got, allegedly 20 paternity suits. Wow. Scott Skiles, coach, at least 6 kids, possibly more. Ray Lewis, tackling him, 6 kids by 4 women. Marshall Faulk, 6 kids by 3 women. Larry Johnson, basketball, 5 kids by 4 women. 3 are illegitimate. I mean, this is a cold situation, man. Vlad Guerrero, 4 kids, 4 women. Oscar De La Hoya, 4 kids. They say courtesy of FARC, whoever that is. Ooh, this is crazy. I mean, come on, talk to me, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Deception is who we are. I believe it. Talk to me right now. Who's my caller? I got callers, right? 855-369-9898. We got Kurt up. Kurt, talk to me, man.
What's going on, Zo?
You calling from the Chi. I expect to see you when I'm in the building on the 25th.
Man, you ain't got to be in the best of areas, man. I don't really fuck with the niggas over there like that.
Hey, man, just bring your strap. I'm going to do bring your strap. We might have to keep our head low.
First, I wanted to holler at you about that download, the double life situation, but you had my man on. He was shedding some light. But to me, it ain't really been no different, because if you look at hip-hop and you look at actresses and actors and all that, especially predominantly black, all of them that have had success, they seem to have to wear a skirt. You know what I'm saying? They have to that's just like a female. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at hip-hop, everybody walking around with the skinny jeans and the piercings, and I mean, it's evident. You know what I'm saying? And any man that can say, I'll wear a dress just to make some money, I couldn't do it. I couldn't see myself putting on no dress. You know what I'm saying? But
so you're saying, let me get this right, bruh, because I'm going to give you time to shine. You're saying that they're really saying, in order to get down with this industry, entertainment, Hollywood, whatever, you got to do something that kind of compromises your sexuality if you're heterosexual.
Most definitely. I mean, it's evident. I don't want to name too many names because, you know, you got one big one. I ain't going to name that, but
go ahead.
It's a lot of them. You got the Fox man, Wanda. You got Martin as Shanae. You got who else? You got Martin as Big Mama. You got Tyler Perry as Medea. You know what I'm saying? You can go
Wesley Snipes.
You can go to Flip Wilson. You know what I'm saying? You think about this. I was looking at something. They was talking about how black men don't really get accolades for Oscars and stuff. Now, Denzel Washington, he couldn't get an Oscar for Malcolm X, but he played a crooked cop in Training Day, and he gets shot in his ass, and what he do? He get an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up in the industry, man.
So you're saying you're saying the industry, the entertainment industry as a whole, doesn't applaud black masculinity in its true form, but they will applaud black homosexuality.
It's based on taking away the masculinity of the black man, because low-key they intimidated by a real black man. And a real black man, like Barack, if Barack was a real brother, he wouldn't be the president. You know what I'm saying? He's a brother, but he's not a real brother. You feel me? And,
wow.
And that's the thing. The world and society is scared of the real black man, and that's why these Jews they take it away from us. You know what I'm saying? Well, the only way you're going to make millions, Will Smith, is if you play a gay dude. You know what I'm saying? The only way you're going to see this is if you get shot in the ass. The only way you're going to play in Star Wars.
But let me just do this. What about Robert Downey Jr. in Less Than Zero? He played a gay guy who was strung out on heroin.
He probably taking it in the ass too. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's different for the white actors because they don't proclaim it like they proclaim it for the black actors. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying like Robin Williams as Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
That's cool for them.
Yeah, it's cool for them because it's not the same thing. They always put the white people on a high pedestal anyway.
But
you know
Patrick Swayze was in that movie with John Leguizamo and Wesley Snipes. So
exactly.
Maybe they were attacking masculinity as a whole and not just black masculinity. Good call. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks, brother. Gene from Ohio, your turn to shine, man. Let's go.
Hey, well, I want to say, just to enlighten your listeners, that back when William Shakespeare was writing movies, it was against the law for women to even act in theater, to partake in entertainment. So therefore, the men played women roles. So, and this is nothing new. You can Google it and it'll come up. You can read it for yourself. So our listeners have to know that back since the 1500s, men were playing women parts. So it's nothing new. What is new is technology. Technology, information, getting it out to the young people, the young people having a broad opportunity to learn a lot of bad things early in life. And that deteriorates and works against our society, especially the black society. Let me tell you something. I've been celibate for 10 years. And I married my husband. He cheated on me. And come to find out, he was a child molester. And he spent 3 years in Ohio prison. And then his 18-year-old girlfriend came to my home saying, look, I have a new baby. We have a baby. So I've been through it all. But also I'm a theater major, and I know the history. So the aspect of why all these fellas are doing women parts That's nothing new.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily denote some type of gender thing where they're down low homosexual, correct?
That is correct. You know,
Thank
that's
you.
something, and if you look at the history of homosexuality, that's been since ancient. That is nothing new. What is new is technology, it being brought forth to everyone in your face, in your living room. So it's pervasive. And in regards to deception and cheating in a relationship, one's own constitution has to be one's own virtues, one's own values.
Yes.
I'm a Libra.
Yes,
And
come on, I see it. Come on, I hear the scales.
And I'm compassionate. I'm a compassionate person. So I think you're a coward and you're a cop-out if you're saying, I lied to you to keep from hurting you. No, that is more hurt. You are being totally incompassionate. You are being a cold-blooded coward to even bring that up in a relationship. And
She's
why
right.
would you want to hurt a relationship? Our black families are going through enough. We don't need that deception, that heartless coldness in our families. We need to stick by each other. That's why I've been celibate for 10 years, and that's why I appreciate when I see, you know, our first lady and first man represent the first black family. It makes me proud because that's what we need more of instead of the more down low, the dirty, the ugly, the lack of compassion, and the lack of oneself having its own government in tune. You have to have your own temple and government in tune.
Well,
Because
Gene, can I tell you, you're the star of the show tonight. We appreciate all of that valuable information, but we've got to move on. But I appreciate you for calling because she said something that just makes this show real. You're a coward. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been a coward many times. I'm not perfect. I've been a coward many times, and I came to face with my cowardice. But we still seek other people's coochie, other people's penis. I think it's time for us to go to a record. Let's go to that record right now, because a lot of us are going to keep doing it despite what Gene told us tonight about the cowardice. I think ignorance is bliss for a lot of people, and so is cowardice. I think this record speaks to that. Let's go. Woo! Down with OPP. Twitter is on fire right now. This is a very fun show. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the razor's edge of living a double life. Arnold Schwarzenegger did it and nobody knew about it. How you have 2 kids weeks apart, both your nanny and your wife pregnant at the same time. I might have been guilty of the same thing at some point. I'm pretty sure I have. I ain't gonna lie. I was in a cowardly space. Dude, I'm telling you, I was half man. I was just a half man. I was a diet man. You know, I had all type of saccharin. It just, aspartame. I wasn't a real man until I came face to face with my flaws. And it took like a horrible relationship issue and situation to bring me full circle to say, dude, you're operating at half capacity, half potential. You're half alive. You're not even a full-blooded man. But once I came face to face with that and I was able to reconcile it with myself first, and I was able to thwart my illusionary image that I was trying to maintain. Once I was like, fuck the image. You gonna deal with me. Once I got to accountability and responsibility and accepting it, that's when I began to blossom as a human being. And I'm just telling you, for men or women, the truth is liberating. It really is. That's our topic tonight, the razor's edge of living a double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings. Like I said, Twitter is on fire right now. It's crazy. At Trey Fletcher, again, women cheat, but ultimately end up getting too attached. Men are built to skeet and skate when we're done. That's what he says. At Trey Fletcher. That's at TRAYEFLETCHER. Rob at Rob Huntsville, not to be outdone, poses this. Ever thought he/she was cheating on you only to find out he/she was cheating on their spouse with you. How about that? You thought that was your main squeeze, but you was the side chick or dude. Cold situation. We're doing it to each other. What about the signs of a cheating wife? I got to go to another break, but before I leave, let me just hit you with this one in the head. You find birth control pills in her medicine cabinet, and you had a vasectomy. Was she creeping? I think she was. Talk to me, TLC, about creeping. Let's do it. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, if your girl only knew. This is crazy right now tonight. Just let it ride. Aaliyah, I miss her. Because if she was still alive, I would be trying to get with her. For real. She was awesome. Even as the vampire demon chick, I would still holler. Teeth and all. Ladies and gentlemen, the razor's edge of living a double life. A deeper look into family lies, deception, cheating, and unknown siblings down low. Lying-ass preachers. You know, politicians, everybody. That's what this show is about tonight. Liars. It's a cold situation, man. We do it all the time. How many women out there, you know, saw their husband or their boyfriend leave the house in the morning smelling like Irish Spring, but return later on that night smelling like Safeguard? A different soap altogether. Where did you shower at? 855-369-9898. I'm going to callers. The topic is crazy, but before I do that, let me hit you with this quote. The true hypocrite is the one who ceases to perceive his own deception, the one who lies with sincerity. Andre Gide. Somebody talk to me right now. Who we got on the line? KJ from Pennsylvania. It's your time to chime, man. Let's get in it.
Hey, my brother.
What's happening?
Hey, man, I don't want to make myself sound so stupid because I know I'm bad at words, but I got this old girl, man, I've been with for a minute, you know, about a year and a half, and I don't forgot what's wrong with me, too, man. I like what that lady said, because I'm like, you know, I'm a coward, still a coward myself, and I got a lot of other girls I mess around with on the side, man, but I lie to her, like, I be telling her, I'm over here working. So I work out of here for the oil and gas drilling industry. So when I do, she think I'm out working, but I'm over there with some other girl. I just say I'm over here working, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what I can do about it. You know, it's like I can't stop. You know.
So your other girl doesn't know?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, all the girls, I got about 4 or 5 girls inside. All of them know about her. I tell them, I said, listen, look here, I got a friend. Look here. I'm going to tell you right now, before you get fooling around.
So, wait a minute. Let me understand this, KJ. All your side pieces know about your number one ice princess, but your number one ice princess don't know about your side pieces, correct?
True.
Okay. Let me just ask really quickly, because this could be very valuable to the listening audience. Why do you need more than the ice princess?
I don't know, man. You know, she does everything that I need or want. But
is she enough?
Yes, she is. But I'm gonna tell you what I feel is fellow know what it is. I've searched inside. It's the feeling, it's the desire just to be with this different woman. It's just to say, I got this woman, that woman. Are you you want to see what she's all about? You want to feel what she can do to you? It's different. You know, that's what I get out of it, because when I go to mess with this woman, I'm like, I'm gonna see what can she do different? What can she can make me feel?
I got you, KJ. I know exactly where you're going. Let me ask you this: the bottom line is, do men just need new cootie? Is that it? Do we just need to conquer and get new cootie? Have your cake and eat it too.
I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you, I feel though, yeah, but me and you both know women not gonna like that. That's me saying yeah. But, I mean, that's just where it is. I mean, I'm just being honest, you know.
That's what it is. That's what it is. We need new cootie. There it is. Mike from California. Do you agree with KJ from Pennsylvania? Talk to me.
Absolutely. We always need some extra cootie out there. But my comment had to do with, you know, if we don't think that women are smart cheaters, we're being pretty dumb, because they are.
They're probably better at it than we are, right?
Absolutely. They're stealth. But what happened to me with my girl is, I've done my fair share of cheating. What happened was, she used to keep her little cookie area trimmed up pretty nice, but all of a sudden she started doing this weird shaving stuff, making it a microphone, a Valentine's Day pattern, this pattern. And also in the bedroom, we used to do certain things, get the dippity-do. And then all of a sudden, she's like, flip it, lick it, and stick it. She totally changed it up on me. So after a while, finally figured out that something was up, and it came out. And the reason why she was doing it was because I wouldn't fully commit, get married. So that was her way staying with me but get me back.
Ooh, thank you for that call, man. I appreciate it. Has your man or woman pulled out a new sex trick after 6 years of having sex, and then all of a sudden some new technique shows up? Where did you learn that from? Where did you get it? We watched the same porn, right? I ain't seen it in none of the films we've been watching. Where did you get it? 855-369-9898. I'm telling you, the razor's edge of living a double life, a deeper look into family lies, deception, and cheating. Monique from Arizona, what do you know about it?
Hello.
Hey, Monique, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening? I'm sorry, I wasn't hearing.
That's all right. Are you cheating right now? Finish and then tell us what's going on.
No. Well, in my mind, yeah, I'm cheating. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm considering, first of all, let me put it like this. My husband is a great man, okay? He's a Christian. He's all for God and everything. He's just a great guy. But our sexual relationship is going downhill, and it's been going downhill, and it's going very fast. So I indulge in basically masturbation and indulging in thinking about other men.
Right.
Okay? Now, I've considered divorce because my husband doesn't deserve that. Period. Mm-hmm. He does not deserve that. You know what I'm saying? And I just want him to have a woman that, hey, is for him. You know what I'm saying? Because
so let me ask you this. Do you think your masturbation is cheating, or do you think thinking of other men is emotional cheating? What is that? Or are you actually something is telling me that you've gone a little farther than just masturbating and thinking of other men. Is that true?
No.
Yes.
No.
I can hear it in your voice. Who is he?
No.
You could tell us right now. We won't say anything. We don't even know your preacher husband.
I know. No, I have not.
He's just a good guy. Do you find that he's lost his edge?
Man, lost the edge. Oh, for real. I'm not even sexually attracted to my husband, at all, period.
Wow.
And I'm attractive. He is also. You know what I'm saying? We make a great couple. But
did you guys have sex before marriage? Before you got married?
Yes. Yeah.
And he was aggressive, and he was up in it, and it was sin. It was marriage. It was like pre-sex, hey, let's do it. The Bible was thrown over in the corner somewhere, and then all of a sudden he turned into T.D. Jakes on you. Is that what happened?
In the CD, yes. Yes, I'm not feeling it at all. I can't even, I be looking at him yo, I don't even want to.
Ooh, wow. Hey, she's dropping some real information here. Monique, listen, I applaud you for calling in, because the reality of it is you being honest with me, but you got to be honest with him. And more importantly, you got to be honest with yourself. A lot of times people let that book get in the way of, that connection that people have. And at the end of the day, you seem to be one who needs it waxed often and aggressively. And if this dude ain't going to do it, he don't realize that he about to lose his woman. Listen, I better not ever find you. I'm sorry. That's wrong. I apologize. Again, deception. We're all lying and cheating. It happens all the time. Emerson from Kansas, talk to me.
Oh, first of all, bro, let me say it like this right here. This cheating game has been going on since BC, AD, all the way back up to the era where Eve deceived Adam in that great glory of paradise that we all got cursed from starting. Number two, I'm a victim of this cheating game. My children became victims behind this cheating game because their Norfolk Dragon primate ass 2 pennies in a shake mother decides she wants to cross the field and go to the other. All right, number one, I do not trust these low-life, backsliding, two-faced, knuckle-dragging-ass women around here starting because they all want a beast in the sheep and a thug in the street for number one. Now, my final comment to you is, what happened with the essence between man and women and what the solidarity of marriage and faithfulness is? Because
that's a great question.
Everybody just turn around and play games back and forth from one another, and they do not realize that the children are the victims in all of this in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that is a great question. That's a great question. I gotta run right now, but that's a great question. I want to answer it right now. Thank you very much, brother, for that call. I really appreciate you taking the time, hanging on the line, and reaching out. What happened to the family values? Whew. Listen, I always tell people, we get in relationships for all kind of reasons. For business, for security, for certainty, for money, to hide our own inadequacies, our weaknesses. I keep telling people, you can't hide in a relationship. A relationship is a highly reflective, educated mirror. It reflects all of your weaknesses back at you. All right? Your belief systems, your ideas, your standards, they work like a magnet. They draw the opposite to you so that you may learn, right? What do you learn to do? You learn to reorganize and rewrite your standards about relationship. Again, we can't have a family without love, without consideration, without respect, without appreciation, without honesty, without open, non-objective, or open, objective, non-judgmental communication. We can't have a good relationship without that. So without those things I just labeled, what do we have? We got lies. We got images. We got ideas, standards and principles we try to present as who we are. But those things are not who we are. Until we come face to face with our true self, we're never going to be honest. We're never going to be truthful. What we are maintainers of the image. We're like gardeners. We're constantly mowing the lawn of our image. I'm going to tell you right now, your image will be your downfall, like in the Bruce Lee movie. You destroy the image, you destroy the man. If you want to tell the truth, destroy the image. But you got to destroy your image first, not your partner's. Ladies and gentlemen, it's ZoWilliams, the voice of reason. Let me end with this. The cruelest lies are often told in silence. Robert Louis Stevenson. I'm ZoWilliams, the voice of reason on Foxxhole Radio. We do this every Thursday. And it's important that you guys follow me on Twitter at ZoWilliams. Go to my Facebook page, ZoWilliams. I'm on Facebook. Go to my website, www.ZoWilliams.com. We do these topics to enlighten, enliven, educate, entertain, the whole 9 yards. I still want you to come meet me. ZoWilliams, the first relationship roundtable of the year, the Little Black Pearl Workshop, 1060 East 47th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 625, June 25th. I'll be there 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. I love you all. I'll see you next week. Another great topic. Peace.